Hello and welcome back to another video, and today we're doing something a little bit different than what we normally do. So usually when I play MotoGP online, I'll just play in 3-lap lobbies with no qualifying on or anything like that. But today I saw when I went online that there was actually a lobby hosted by Jorge Sprinter available. I think he was doing a stream at the time. I think he tends to do them after most of the race. Now if you don't know who he is, he's a Spanish MotoGP YouTuber. He does other stuff like F1 and things like that as well, but he does mainly MotoGP. He's very, very good channel. He's much larger than I am. I think he's got about 50,000 subscribers. It's very good content, and he's extremely fast, and the people he plays with are extremely fast. So we're probably going to get absolutely destroyed in this lobby, but I thought, you know what, join it for a bit of fun. I've never actually raced against him before. I have seen him race plenty of times because I've seen his videos and his live streams and stuff, and he is so fast. On every game, really, he's really fast. So I thought it'd be fun to give it a go, join the lobby. They're usually pretty full. In fact, this one's nearly full, 11 people. I just managed to find a spot right at the end. I think we're just doing Jerez over and over again, from what I can gather. Obviously, I don't actually speak a word of Spanish, so I don't know what they're saying on the live streams and stuff. But from what I can gather, because obviously it was the Spanish GP today, that it's all the Spanish GP just over and over again. I'm just still playing this Quattraro from yesterday. I haven't changed my rider. I forgot to change it in the intermission between the races. Oh, there he goes. He goes down actually. But yeah, like I said, they're extremely fast riders in this lobby, and they really push it to the limits. I mean, look at that. I'm 1.8 seconds off. I mean, that is just over one lap as well. So I'm over 2 seconds a lap slower than these guys. You see, obviously a 33.4. They were doing that in the race, and it's like about a 6-lap race. They were doing that on the final lap of the race. So they've got some serious pace. There's someone in front of us there, but they're not going to get in our way, so it's alright. Yeah, they're just getting ready to start a lap. Fair enough. So what's this time going to be when we come up towards the line? 1 minute 35, 1:36.6. So for me, that's not too bad, but I was 3 seconds off what the current pole position was, and I've lost the front into the first corner. So I'm going to have to go back to the pits. Well, I'm going to have to restart my flying lap. So even though we're 3 seconds off, we're actually still currently 5th. Obviously, there's about 2 minutes left in the session. Only a 5-minute qualifying session. So they do go pretty quick. Quite what's happening with all the trees and stuff just disappearing. I think that's a bug with online. Perhaps a little bit of lag in the lobby as well, because most of the people are in Spain. Although that's not too far from obviously where I am from, but I'm basically the only guy in the lobby that's not Spanish. I think there might be an Indonesian in the lobby as well. So 6 tenths down in the first sector, actually down at my own time. I guess it's because we tried to save some fuel power mode 0. We've got half a lap of fuel left, so I'm going to have to go power mode 0 for the rest of this lap. You don't get many cracks at it in a 5-minute session. You're a second off in this second sector. Personal best in this one actually, 1.7 off, which is interesting to say the least. Looks like the strict track limits aren't on. I have only just actually realised that, so probably could have pushed a little bit more. Through Ferrari then, as we go down towards the Jorge Lorenzo hairpin. We're 7th place, so we're not last right now, which is always nice. Into the Jorge Lorenzo hairpin then. We can use some power mode 2 on the exit to this corner. Slide in the rear. As we come up towards the line, we've got 10 seconds left in the session, so we would have enough time to go for one more lap, but we're not going to have the fuel to do that. 35.4, drastically fast, so that actually puts us back up into 5th, but we are now out of fuel, so that is our qualifying session over. Oh, the autopilot nearly rejoined in front of that guy, but luckily it didn't. So the qualifying actually glitched at the end. We just got stuck on the auto drive forever, so we're just going straight into the race, I'm guessing now. So I think I'll start in 5th. I think I might be starting 6th in this one, so not too much difference. So we'll get this started then. I'm going for the hard tyre this time. I learnt from my mistake yesterday. I've put 7 laps of fuel in just in case I need a little bit of extra fuel. I don't want to be saving fuel with such a competitive field. And I also decided to try and use Dovizioso, since obviously, for me, he was probably the rider of the day. Obviously, other than Fabio in real life, of course, getting his first win. But for me, Dovizioso was the rider of the day, getting a podium with the injury he had. So I think that was a good ride from Dovizioso. So here we are then, getting this started. Where am I starting? Yeah, I'm 6th place. So 1 place lower than I would have been otherwise. Interesting there to see someone sort of playing as a custom rider but making it look like Rossi. Also someone playing as Passini, but you know, that's different. Passini's not in the game. So I'll go to traction control 3 actually. Wait for the lights to go out here at Jerez. Lights out and away we go. Got to be careful on this first lap. I don't want to be skittling anybody out. That Aprilia got a fantastic start. Another Dovizioso's gone past me, so hit the brakes then for the first corner. A little bit of contact with an Aprilia there. But the inside of the other Dovi kind of bounced off him. That was An odd collision as we hit the brakes then for Mitchell in the front end, not feeling too great at this point. There's been a crash behind. Oh, there's a crash in front. We've been caught up in it. No. Oh dear, what happened there? That guy, oh, and his bike is still tumbling along. Actually in a similar corner to where Marquez crashed in real life. Somebody at the inside then on the Repsol Honda, and another Yamaha at the inside. We've been clipped by the Yamaha as he goes up the inside of us. So this race has really gone poor. And speaking of, obviously Marquez crashed that previous corner. We've basically gone through the gravel like Marquez did, but I'm down in 11th place. Like I said earlier on, the pace of the lobby is fantastic. So I'm not expected to really gain these positions back. So it might be an 11th place finish. But you never know. There has been a couple of crashes up ahead as we go into the Dani Pedrosa corner. Although I'm still down in 11th, so it doesn't bode too well for me. It's really off-putting to see all of the stuff off track just loading in. Because that's not usually how it is at all. Right, so I can see someone ahead. I think Jorge Sprinter himself is in 6th place. And someone else in front of us has crashed into Angel Nieto. He's rejoining the circuit, but we're going to have the run. He's left us the room, fair play to him, because he could have turned into that corner really, because he was far enough in front. But he was so slow that he didn't bother, because obviously he knew there probably would have been a collision, so I can't really fault that. The riding is clean in here. There's just been a couple of first lap collisions, which you're bound to get. Obviously, I'm not sure who the Honda on the floor was at Michelin. That kind of messed me up massively, didn't it? Him just crashing in the middle of the track. There's nothing I could do. Apparently I've only got 4 laps of fuel left, so I'll be in a bit of trouble if that's the case. I did use a little bit too much power mode too, I will admit, off the start, but I did put an extra lap of fuel in than normal. We'll watch it tick back up and I'll just keep my eye on it. Don't want to run out of fuel, of course. But next up is the guy in 9th place then on another Repsol Honda. I don't know if that's the guy that actually was on the floor. I'm not 100% sure on that. Someone's rejoining. There's a couple of people rejoining at this corner actually. Brendan Muller, he gets off out the way. He's lagging a little bit. I had to lift out the throttle just because I didn't know where I was going to put his bike. I mean, he got out of the way. It wasn't his fault. He's lagging quite a bit. I think he was South African when I read the nationality list, so that would explain why he's lagging backwards and forward. Into this corner then. Oh, someone's gone flying in there. That's absolutely put me off. 2 people gone flying, so up into 8th place now then. So not too bad for such a competitive lobby. Obviously we're in front of 4 people, but they have all crashed, although I've crashed twice. I think a few people have crashed twice in this lobby so far. Lap 2 of 6, so there's plenty of laps to go to make up some more positions. If we could have a go at maybe getting that 6th place. Up ahead with that Repsol Honda. Obviously there is Brendan Muller as well, who's quite fast, but very difficult to pass because of his lag. Catching up through turn 4 then. Going to go back down to traction control 2 because 3 is actually not quite giving me the drive that I want in this race so far. He's gone a little bit wide. He's not going to go as wide as AI do, but he has lost a bit of time as we go down the straight then towards the Dani Pedrosa corner. Jorge Sprinter ahead of us. I think he's in 5th place. He's actually just crashed there. So we're hitting the brakes for the Dani Pedrosa corner. This guy's gone a little bit wide. We're going to try and sneak up the inside on the power. Obviously it is balanced performance, so we can't use the power of this Desmond Adichie to get past him. Oh, the rear slides on that curb. We've got to watch out, obviously don't want to crash into the side of anybody. We'll look at the inside into the Aspar corner. Oh, that was tight. We've kind of been forced onto the grass there. I mean, in his defence, he was just sort of holding the line, but he was just so slow I rode underneath him. Here we go then into Angel Nieto. We've kind of sat him up a bit there, but again, I haven't got the power. I've gone up the inside through Peliqui, side by side, but he's still got the position. So this guy's defending pretty well, but he's holding me up so much. He's actually not that fast at the minute. Oh, sliding that rear. So actually, considering how much I was struggling with the medium yesterday, the hard is not giving me the temperature at all now. So through the Hoy Lorenzo corner, then we've got some good drive, but here he goes once again. He's still got the advantage as we go down towards the first corner then. This will be a 36.9, so not that good of a lap. He's gone in a little bit wide. He's left the door a little bit open, trying to power it through again. There's no chance this 6th place now. See, we've still been battling with him for 7th. You can see how much Brendan Muller's gone up the road ahead. So Brendan Muller got some serious pace. I mean, he was quite far in front of me before he crashed, although I suppose I had crashed a couple of times already, so that could be part of the reason. So through turn 4, this is where the guy in front has been struggling quite a bit. As we go towards Cito Pons, I've almost hit him up the back. He's gone in very slowly there. He's actually given him a bit of an advantage, to be honest. So in the slipstream, then he's gone on the grass a little bit, almost like what Arbolino did, but on the other side of the track, as we go down towards the Dani Pedrosa corner then. And again, we've had contact. I don't know what... He's braking very early. He's holding me up so much. I'm just going to have to gas it as much as I can, but I can't just get the power down through this rear tyre. This hard rear tyre really not working for me, actually, in this race. which I thought it really would, but unfortunately it hasn't. It's a shame. We probably could have had a decent-ish race if we kept out of trouble, but it's just unfortunate we got collected in that crash so early on. Not my fault, of course. I'm not sure exactly what happened, but there was just a bike in the middle of the track I couldn't avoid. I'm not sure if it was this guy in front of us, but there's someone catching up to us behind on the Yamaha. So I really do need to get past this Honda rider. Through Ferrari, then we got the commitment down towards the Jorge Lorenzo corner. I'm going to go to the inside on the brakes, a bit like what Quartararo did to Miller. So we've got past him now. Someone behind us crashed. The other person playing is Dovizioso, so we finally got past that Repsol Honda then, as we start the 5th lap of 6 on the penultimate lap. 37.8, that's how much he held us up on that lap. That's ridiculous. So the Yamaha that was catching is now behind me. He's got past Honda very, very quickly. I think I should have just been a bit more aggressive with him, to be honest. There we go then, onto the back straight. Down towards the Dani Pedrosa corner, hitting the brakes then. There's a big group about 7 seconds up the road, and that's the leading pack, I think. Would make sense. They are about 3 seconds a lap quicker than me, aren't they? Because of my... Well, my pace isn't great, but obviously that Honda didn't help out, to be honest. One of the guys battling for the lead has come off, but I don't think that's going to be a massive factor in our race. We've been hit up the back through the Jorge Lorenzo corner. The guy trying to get the driving... What? Okay, why? Right, nice. Okay, I thought we'd finally get a clean lobby, but I guess not. That guy decided he didn't want me to exist anymore in his way. So we're down to 10th place, so we're actually still not last somehow. But yeah, I don't know what that guy's problem was. I mean, he hit me at the back in the middle of the Dani Pedrosa corner. Not Dani Pedrosa corner, sorry, the Jorge Lorenzo corner. Which, you know, fair enough. I probably just went in a bit slower than he did. He hit me at the back. But on the exit, he's just weaved right into me on purpose and put me in the wall. I'm not sure why exactly that was necessary, but whatever. We'll finish this last lap then. Hopefully the next one will be a bit better, because I'll stay in for a couple of races, because we're 11 seconds behind Taylor 46, who was actually battling for the lead not too long ago, probably about a lap ago. He's had a few crashes, so we actually could have probably got a 6th position there. In fact, yeah, that Repsol Honda got a 6th place, so we were in front of him, and another one, so we actually could have got a top 5 result if that Yamaha hadn't just completely taken me out on purpose. Someone's coming out of the gravel here. Oh, it's that Repsol Honda. And all of a sudden there's now a group of 3 riders ahead of me. So quite what's happened here, I don't know. I don't know whether they're waiting up for each other and stuff in this race when people fall off. I think so, because this pack has closed up a lot all of a sudden. But we're still in front of that Repsol Honda, at least. Yeah, because Brendan Muller's battling for the lead now, and he's crashed a couple of times. In fact, he's crashed again here. So it could be an opportunity to pick up a decent position. He's gone off at the final turn. Oh, no, that's Adrian, that is, coming back on the circuit. So Jorge Sprinter actually wins the race here. As we come up towards the line, we're going to be 9th place, but it could have been a bit more. If we just get taken out by Matteo Passini as we go over the line. That's not too bad, because that's just messing about at the end of the race. But yeah, I don't know why that guy just took me out for no reason. I know it's kind of a bit of a fun lobby. It's not 100% serious, but it is all fast people. So I'd expect it to be a bit clean, but I don't know why that guy just completely took me out. So we ended up 7th place in the end then. How far were we behind? 9.4 seconds. If you look at the fastest laps there, then there was a 33 as one of the fastest laps. Yeah, 33.9 was the fastest lap there by that Repsol Honda rider, whereas I did 1 minute 36.1 as my fastest lap. So very, very far off the pace compared to these other riders. Right then, so this time we're actually at Brno, which is not a good track for me. I thought we were doing Jerez over and over again, but I guess I decided not to do that, which is fair enough. I didn't really want to do Jerez over and over again, if I'm totally honest. So a 5-lap race then here. Hang on, where is the fuel? I'll put 6 laps of fuel in just to be safe. I think that is the fastest way to go about it online. But as we saw, everyone was extremely fast. I'm not sure whether to go for the... I'm going to go for the medium, because the hard was wasn't good enough for me in the previous race. Hopefully we can do a little bit better. If we don't get caught up in a crash right at the beginning of the race, we actually might be able to do something quite decent. So here we are then. What place I'm actually starting off? It's not me on pole, is it? I think that might be Jorge, because he's lobby host and he's also playing as Vinales in this race, I believe. So where am I then? I am 6th place. So 6th place again. So yeah, oh yeah, scripted grids, isn't it? I forgot. So wait for the lights to go out here then at Brno. Lights out, away we go, using a little bit of power mode 2 off the line. back into power mode 1 just to save it. So we're down to 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th as we go towards the first corner. I'm just going to brake nice and early to avoid any chaos. There's been a bit of a crash up ahead. We're carrying quite a bit of speed through the first corner. You've got to watch out on the exit. You don't go onto the curb on the second corner. There's a Hellacious bagger on the outside there, lagging a lot. That's Brendan Muller again, isn't it? Yes, it is. Side by side with this Yamaha. Brendan Muller jumping backwards and forwards. It is very hard to race against, but there you go. A Ducati's just gone to the side of him. So we're in 5th place, so we're already doing better than we did at this point in the previous one. Oh, that was a bit of a dive bomb there from Xavier. Oh, that's the guy that actually hit us off, wasn't it, in the previous race? Just randomly decided that he didn't want me there anymore on the exit of the Jorge Lorenzo corner. So I'm not going to be too polite to him when I'm going past him through turn 6. Not quite enough there. He's holding a tight line through Stadion. That's going to leave him open on the exit for me to get through. And we've actually passed him, so we're up into 4th place. So the 3 leaders are the fastest guys in the lobby. By the looks of it, he's hit me again. This guy, obviously, I think he's probably a time trialer for a guess that can't race too well online. But he's cut back underneath me, that's fair enough. But now he's gone a little bit wide. I've got the run down towards the Kevin Schwantz corner. Hitting the brakes nice and early though. Who is that? That was a good move on the outside on that Suzuki. I was not expecting him to get that stopped. I can't really complain about that too much. But it looks like us top 6 are getting away a little bit. Oh, no. Well, he's down now, the guy on the Suzuki. The Yamaha has been nerfed a little bit as well. So if we can get a good run through turn 12 on the power. There we go. Oh, a bit of a wheelie up the hill we go. Up horsepower hill side by side with this guy. But he actually really got the power down. Obviously, I'm not using setups or anything like that. I'm guessing most of the other people in this lobby are using setups. Oh, that's so close. I don't know where I'm going there. That wasn't his fault. That was just me being a bit stupid. So there we go. You can see the top 3 have absolutely cleared off. I'm going to try and stay with this guy if I can, because his pace wasn't too dissimilar to mine at Jerez. And obviously, he absolutely destroyed me at the last corner. And I would like to repay the... well, not repay the compliment, but I would like to repay that with a bit of aggression in this race. We've got past him. Jorge Sprinter crashed as well, so we actually passed under a yellow flag. Good job, there is no rules about that. But we're up into the podium spots now then in this race. But Jorge, he is so much faster than me. I'm sure he will be catching us back up at some point in this race. But at least we're in front of this Yamaha for now. Through turn 3, flicking the bike over through 4. He's 7/10 behind. He's actually lost a bit of time. So now that we've got a little bit ahead of him, can we try and break away? That would be quite interesting to find out. Hitting the brakes then for turn 5. Wonder if one of these 2 in front of us might fall off as well. Give us an even better place. But for now, I'm quite happy with the podium. Into Stadion then, obviously this is where the other Yamaha went in wide and we cut underneath him on the first lap. I think he went in a bit wide again by the sounds of the audio behind. Into turn 8, we've run in a little bit hot myself there, not the best line I must say. This is where he dive bombed me as well, wasn't it? Turn 9, try and pick up a late apex there. So the tyre is actually overheated, so maybe the hard tyre was a better choice. Up to traction control 3. There isn't much tyre wear, to be honest. Obviously, almost done 2 laps and it's only a 5-lap race, so tyre wear is going to be okay, I think. Jorge Sprinter's crashed again, so actually he probably won't catch us up now unless I crash, of course, which is quite likely. It will probably happen at some point. I am a bottle, as we know. I bottle races a lot. The rear slide in there. But we are actually getting away from that guy behind us. We put 1.2 seconds into him now, which is actually quite surprising. I was expecting him to be all over the back of me again because he seems to have pretty decent pace, although we've run wide through Horizon, so that's definitely going to help him out. You just got to get into that rhythm and not make the mistakes, and maybe he made a few mistakes. Although it doesn't seem like he gained on us much through that. So a 51.9 there from Mattia Pasini 54, and I do a 54.2 nearly. So, wow, he is so much faster than me. They look like they're battling up ahead as well, so there could be a collision, but I think they'd probably actually rejoin in front of me anyway. That's how far behind I am. 4.7 seconds behind Mattia Pasini. 1.4 ahead of the Yamaha behind, so we're still extending that gap over him very, very slightly. So the rear tyre is getting really critical now, so I wouldn't be surprised if this guy behind starts to catch up. He's using a hard tyre, I did see that, so it was probably part of the reason we were getting slightly better exits earlier on, as well as his dive bombs. 1.5 seconds behind, so that's still a pretty comfortable gap at this point, but I think he might have reeled it in a little bit there. As we come through the final turn, there's someone catching him up behind. I'm not sure who it is. It could be Jorge Sprinter. I'm not too sure. So over the line there, 53.8, that's a bit more like it, a bit of a quicker lap there. 4/10 quicker than on the previous lap, so we are up in our pace. 51.7 fastest lap of the race, so actually I think that might be the guy behind. Ikiasti, is that how you pronounce it? Not too sure. I think that might be the rider behind, catching up to the Yamaha guy that is behind us, and if he's lapping that quickly, well, there's nothing either of us will be able to do about it. So it looks like we might lose this podium, unfortunately, but I will fight till the end with it. You guys know that I definitely don't want to give up a position. 1.6 seconds, we've actually gained ahead of the Yamaha again now that he's scrapping with the rider behind. 1.7 seconds ahead of him now. We're actually looking quite healthy, but it is the other guy now. It is Ikiaste behind us, if that's how it's pronounced. I have no idea how that's pronounced. You know me, terrible pronunciations. We've got the hill then, towards turn 11. I've gone in a little bit wide into 11. That will compromise the run through 12 and all the way up Horsepower Hill towards Horizon. That is how important that corner is, really, turn 11. It can compromise you. He's less than a second behind now, 9/10 of a second, so we look like we are going to go onto the last lap leading. Matteo Passini's actually fell off ahead of us, but he's only just there, so he's actually got that far in front that even though he's crashed, it's still enough, and his friend who he's battling with is waiting up for him. So that is very good to see, which means actually could be potentially a good scrap here for the podium. If they hold each other up or anything like that, I might have to use a little bit of power mode 2 on the straight to try and keep this rider behind us, Ikiaste. Oh, he's the guy on the Suzuki from earlier on in the race, isn't he? Yes, actually, I completely forgot about him with a stellar move around the outside, and then obviously he clattered into the Yamaha. The Yamaha probably braked a little bit earlier than he'd expect to. I'm trying to hold a line, probably getting on the power to do that wasn't the best idea because that sacrificed me. Here he goes. He's right behind me. I might have moved over on him on the exit a little bit there. If I didn't mean to do that, so apologies. Up the inside he goes. Nothing I can really do. I'll look at trying to fight him back, but obviously you can see how warm this tyre is. Around the outside, up towards turn 7, Stadion, but he's just got it for now. The rear slide, and the guy behind, the Yamaha's obviously gone with him a little bit because he's closed up quite a bit behind. Gone in a little bit hot there into turn 8, flicking the bike over into 9. Taylor 46 has fell off. He's fell off out of second place, and Matteo Passini's waited up for him. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to go for the win. I'm going for glory. I may as well go for it. Up the inside then of here. Oh, we've kind of sat him up there. It's a bit of an aggressive move up into the lead of the race just because the people are waiting up after taking each other out. I thought about waiting up for a second. He goes around the outside. A beautiful move there from Ikiaste. That's absolutely fantastic move. Trying to get on the power as early as we can. Using some power mode too. We've got a whole lap of fuel left to use with about 2 corners left to use it in. As we go towards Horizon then, it's not going to be the victory because look how much later he can brake than me. That is absolutely unbelievable. That's obviously a little bit down to setup, but obviously rider skill. That shows how much I could still improve on this game. As we come up towards the line then, it's going to be second place here at Brno, but obviously helped out by the fact that the 2 leaders were waiting for each other after colliding, so really it was a 4th place. That's what it should have been. So a very close race then. He won by almost 0.2 of a second, just shy of that. The guy behind us actually had a penalty, 1.1 seconds behind. But as you can see, a lot of the riders so much faster than us. But I think that's where I'll call it a day. Then everyone seems to be leaving the lobby actually anyway, so that's probably a good place to end it. So I hope you guys did enjoy that video then. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Hope you're all staying safe, and I shall see you in the next video.